Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. I am a blogger, content creator, and influencer based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I have been an influencer really all my life. But I started my influencing journey in 2017. So August of 2017, almost 4 years in the game. And it's been a hell of a journey, the most amazing journey for sure. I want to start this video off by saying I am very nervous and I talk with my hands naturally. So if you see me doing a lot of this, please bear with me. I've been putting off starting my YouTube channel for so many years now. It's quite ridiculous. I think I have like 3 or 4 videos, but this is my first actual face-to-face video. And for whatever reason, I'm really nervous. I went on my Instagram earlier and I asked for you all to send me questions because I said, you know what, I'm going to do my first YouTube video and why not make it a Q&A. So I have some questions on my phone that I'll be answering throughout the video, and that will be my little introduction. Get to know Courtney. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna answer the questions in an order that makes sense, so it kind of helps with the flow of the video, because some of these questions, like the order is, you know, they're kind of just all over the place. So I'll start with the easy ones first. Where are you from? I live in Atlanta and I've been in Atlanta for almost 10 years now, but I'm originally from Miami, Florida, Dade County, 305. Ironically enough though, my mom and dad were born in Georgia. So my mom and dad are from Georgia, South Georgia, really, really small town called Thomasville, Georgia. It's like literally right near the Florida state line. Most of my mom and dad's family are still there. So they moved to Miami in the 80s, thank God. And that's when I was born. So I have country roots, but I'm a city girl. Literally. Real life, give up about it. If you know me, you know I love the city girls. Is my head shiny? Okay. Would you ever move back to Miami? A big hell no. No. First of all, I love Atlanta. I would not move back to Miami because the cost of living is absolutely positively ridiculous. And I love being in a city with people thriving that look like me. Atlanta it's been everything that I've imagined for it to be. It's my second home, so I would not move back to Miami. It's Atlanta for me. Someone asked Atlanta or Miami. I love them both, don't get me wrong. I love Miami. That's home for me. That's the crib. Like, I love it. I love to vacation. My family is still there. So I love Miami because it's home, but I just don't want to live in Miami. I love Atlanta because it's like now my second home, and I've started my own family here, and I, you know, jump-started my career here. My friends are here. So they both have a very special place in my heart. I wouldn't want to have to choose between the two, but if we're talking about where I want to live, definitely Atlanta. How did you choose your corporate job or end up in that field? Great question. So I work for the official destination marketing organization for the city of Atlanta, and my official job title was a convention services manager. So essentially, my job brings business to Atlanta by way of conventions and tourism. And so some of the most popular events that you would know are like Super Bowl, Final Four, college football playoff. And those are sporting events. We do more than sporting events. Miss Universe pageant, Dragon Con Sci-Fi Convention, Bronner Brothers Hair Show. I mean, there's a ton of events and a ton of associations across different sectors. And so my job specifically, I work as the liaison between the meeting planner and the entire hospitality community in Atlanta. So all of our restaurants, all of our hotels, all of our venues, the airport, Atlanta PD, taxi, MARTA, everybody. Essentially, I act as a liaison for the meeting planner, or between the meeting planner and the city. So I kind of have the key to the city. My job is really fun. And if you follow along on my stories, I have like 10 highlights about my job. And it is very time consuming, and you have to be very organized and sort of a project manager, so to speak, because you handle so many aspects and so many things. So that is in hospitality. How did I get that job? So in high school, I was in the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism. And so from a very early age, I knew that I loved the hospitality. I love people. I thought that I wanted to work in hotels. So when I went to Florida State, I got my bachelor's degree in hospitality administration. And immediately following graduation, I was accepted into Marriott's management and training program. So I worked for Marriott International for 5 years. Shout out to Marriott. Love them very much. Marriott. I don't know when I started saying Marriott. Marriott. Really, it's Marriott. That's what the corporate people say. We say Marriott. So I worked for Marriott for 5 years, and then I switched over to the bureau side, which still is in the hospitality community, and I still work very closely with the hotels, but on the other side of things. So that's my corporate job. How did I end up in it? I have my degree in it, and I always knew I wanted to work for a bureau. You know, here I am. Speaking of my corporate job, another question says, how long do you think you'll be able to do your corporate job and do influencing? You know, that's a very good question. I can't answer that because I love my job. If you know me, you know I love my job. On the same token, I absolutely love influencing. I absolutely love working with my favorite brands. I love building a community. I love my Instagram family. I feel like my life has been changed by Instagram. I feel like I have changed people's lives through you know, Instagram and social media, and I absolutely love both of my jobs, and it's been amazing for me to pour into both of my passions. It's been amazing for me to be able to pursue two things that I love so deeply. Whew, I'm getting emotional. Because people ask me that question, literally, if it's one question I get almost every day, it is, how long do you think you're going to be able to manage both? I wish I had the answer for that, but I don't. I don't care how good you are with organization, with time management. Something is going to give eventually. And so I think for now, I just have to pray about it and continue to give both my jobs everything that I have. But I know that for me to continue to perform at such a high level, something has to happen. What is that? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, y'all, because y'all not about to make me emotional on my first video. Do you want more kids? Yes. Short answer is yes. I do want one more, preferably a little Richard Jr., but I will be happy with a girl or a boy. This is still kind of a soft spot for me as well, because transparency moment, I had a miscarriage back in April, and it was probably one of the hardest things I think I've dealt with in a very long time, primarily because it came at such a beautiful time in my life. Richard is my husband. Richard and I had just gotten married a month before. Hell, we got engaged 2 months before. And I feel like everything was just lining up perfectly. And then boom, it's like it just came out of nowhere. And I got to my 10-week appointment, and they told me those dreaded words: the baby does not have a heartbeat. And y'all, whew, just talking about it right now makes me emotional. So people would say all the time, oh, y'all need to give Sanaya a sibling, y'all need to have another baby. And we want to, y'all. And we're trying, but this further proves why you should stay out of other people's uterus. You should stop asking, because you don't know what kind of response you're triggering internally for that person. It's gotten easier for me, so I can answer the question, yes, I do want more kids. And I don't think that's a bad question, but like, why you don't have kids, or what's taking you so long, or whatever, when you gonna get, you don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, do you think influencing will ever become so heavy that you have to let the other job go? We just talked about that. And I'm just trying to go in an order that makes sense. How tall are you? I am 5'9". I'm tall. My family is tall. My dad's dad is 6'7". My uncle is 6'8". My dad is 6'2", and he's the shortest. So my family is tall. I am 5'9" and fine. When is the short hair coming back? Did Richard send you? Because that's his favorite hairstyle. He loves my short hair, and so do I. However, short hair is so much to maintain, and y'all, I don't have that super silky, flowy, beautiful, luscious hair. I ain't gonna lie, I don't have that, okay? So it takes a lot for me to maintain this hair, and my shortcut is very high maintenance. Even though it was short hair, it's a lot to manage. And especially because, I mean, we're going back outside now, but we hadn't been outside. I'm like, I'm not about to be stressing myself out trying to do my hair. It was just too much. You gotta wash it every other day. At least I did. Wash it every other day. You gotta mold it. You gotta sit it under the dryer. You gotta curl it. It's just too much. Braids. Ooh. Braids for me. I love braids. I feel like they accentuate my face. I love my braids super, 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 super long. I don't know. The short hair will be coming back. Maybe sometime next year. But for now, braids. When is the run challenge coming back? I'm so glad you asked me this because I have been slacking. In January, I started running every month. I would run between 40 and 60 miles a month. And I would use the Nike Run Club and I would track my runs. And every month, I would invite my Insta family to run with me. And at one point, we got up to 120 people running that month. I think that was June. No, not this June, y'all. Last June, I'm sorry. And oh my God, it was so amazing. I was in the best shape of my life. I was running a 10-minute mile consistently, and I just fell off. Like, work started getting busy, life started getting busy, and I just didn't keep up with it. But a lot of people have been asking, you know, are you still doing the run challenge? So I think I'm gonna start that back here pretty soon. Maybe in the fall when it's not so brutally hot outside. Excuse me. We'll start that back. So if you're interested in the run challenge, slide in my DMs on Insta. No question, you're just gorgeous. Thank you so much. Who said that? Alicia, you're gorgeous too. Sorry to put you on blast. Well, they don't know who you are. There's a million Alicias in the world, but you're absolutely beautiful as well. So thank you. Will you homeschool Sanai again? Great question. So no, and not because we had a bad experience. We had an absolutely amazing experience. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would 100% do it exactly how we did it. It was the most amazing experience. So for those of you that are watching and maybe you don't follow me on Instagram, once COVID happened and like all the daycares closed, me and 3 of my neighbors decided to get together and start a homeschool pod. So we did essentially a shared homeschool. We hired a teacher and then each family would host once a week. So since there was 4 families, we each hosted 1 week out of the month, and the teacher just traveled to each house. Again, absolutely amazing experience. Sanai and all the other kids learned so much, but with the world kind of opening back up and everybody going back to work, it's just not conducive for our schedules anymore. Like, I can't host a week, and we just won't be able to do it again. So she's going to big girl school. Oh, y'all, I'm so nervous. So now it's going to kindergarten and I am not okay. Not okay. How are you loving your new kitchen? Y'all, I love it. So when we bought this house in 2017, child, we weren't in a good place. God is good and we were able to get the house, but renovating was just not at the top of the list. I had just had Sanai that September. We bought the house in March. So I had her the September before. We bought the house in March, and it was just like, I was just happy to say it was mine. And then, you know, years passed, time passed, and slowly but surely we would add little things and do little things. But as much as I love to cook and as much as I love to create content, I was like, I need to be able to create content in my own home that I'm proud of and that I'm happy with. And the first place for me was the kitchen. Well, I did Sanai's room first, which is just so damn cute. But the most important thing for me was my kitchen, just because I'm cooking all the time, I'm shooting in there all the time. And so we redid the kitchen, and it looks fabulous. I mean, we redid the backsplash, we got all new appliances, we painted the cabinets, we painted the entire kitchen. Literally, we did everything in the kitchen except the floors, because we already have hardwood floors. So I love it. Will you record the rest of your renovations? Yes, I definitely will. I'll be honest with y'all. The next up is our back patio. We extended our patio. We have a really big backyard. I won't say really big, but we have a nice size backyard, and we had a tiny little patio, y'all, this big. So we extended the patio. They've already laid the concrete. I think we've got like 36 feet by maybe 18 feet. It's huge. Like, it spans almost the entire backside of our house, maybe 75%. Here's where the kicker is. The covering. So we laid the concrete, but the covering itself is crazy expensive. And the price of wood, the price of lumber, everything is just literally through the roof. And the quotes that we've gotten so far are like, absolutely not. At least not right now. So I'm gonna record, but when these prices get right, because it's looking a little strange right now. Once we do get a good quote, then I'm absolutely gonna bring you guys along. I'm gonna be sharing like how I decorate the back patio. It's gonna be like a whole vibe. I already like have my mood board together. It's definitely gonna be giving like resort vibes. So get ready for that. When is the wedding? I got a lot of people ask that. So the wedding will be next fall, next October. I'll be sending out save the dates in the next couple months or so, probably shooting for September. So yeah, I knew I wanted a fall wedding, and I knew I wanted October just because I feel like that's when the weather in Atlanta is just the most gorgeous. It's nice, crisp, cool air. It's just beautiful weather. Fall makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And yeah, so it'll be next fall. And I'm super excited. We have not started really planning anything outside of choosing our venue and putting down the deposit. I've not sent out my bridesmaids boxes. I've not done anything else because y'all, your girl been busy. You understand? I've been busy, so I haven't done anything else as of yet, but I will definitely be documenting the wedding planning process, so y'all get ready for that. This one said from a person that I do not know, so this is kind of a little bit shady, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. How did you stay so long with no ring? I mean, you know, I'm gonna take that back. That's not shady. That is a very valid question. How did you stay so long with no ring, or why did you stay so long with no ring? How did you stay so long with no ring? And honestly, I don't think that I can answer it in a short and concise enough answer, but I will say I never planned to be his girlfriend for 6 years, or anyone's girlfriend for 6 years for that matter. And I don't think that any woman that's in a relationship for an extended period of time, and extended is subjective, wakes up and says, I want to be a 6-year girlfriend or a 10-year girlfriend or a 15-year girlfriend. Nobody, in my mind, no woman wants that for herself, right? You just have to decide in your relationship how long you're willing to wait. And for me personally, there was a point in time where there was going to be no relationship. So we definitely had our ebbs and flows, our ups and downs, and I'll save that for another day because I really do want to expound on this. We're gonna talk about this in another video because I really want to talk about this. But I will say I never intended to be Richard's girlfriend for 6 years. Our relationship just panned out that way, and we also had some very high points and very low points, low enough that we would have walked away from each other, but God is so good, and our love for each other, it runs so deep that we were able to pull out of a very bad place and get to the amazing space that we're in right now. And I guess maybe that took so long, 7 years, 6.5 years. But yeah, I can't say I encourage people to stay in a relationship for that long, or I say, you know, put a time stamp if he don't have it together by this time. All that shit it depends on you. It depends on your relationship. It depends on the man. Do I believe that a man knows, you know, almost immediately if he wants to marry you? I do believe that. So I'm not saying that it took him 6 years, and no, he knew. But our story is a good one. One that should be shared. So I will I'll do another video about that. But good question. Why did we get married before the wedding? And I guess that's why I put these two questions together. We got married before the wedding because we've been together for 6.5 years, 7 years now. And at that point, I was just like, the wedding is a formality. The actual party itself. Granted, I've dreamt of a wedding my entire life. As a little girl, I knew that I would walk down the aisle with my dad into my husband's arms. And I'm very much going to have that moment because I deserve that. But our priority was being married. And I feel like we had waited so long, and we were together for so long, and we had been together for so long, baby. I was ready to be his wife. I wasn't waiting another second, okay? I waited a month, but we were ready. So we went right on down to the courthouse. We got married officially, and we'll be having our wedding next fall. What has been your favorite collaboration so far? Ooh, the one that paid me the most money. Actually, no, the one that paid me the most money was a pain in my ass. Do you hear me? I'm not gonna say what the brand name was, but who, child, all money ain't good money. Although that was some good money. My favorite, it's really hard to say because I've had a lot of favorites. I think the most memorable one, you don't want to know what my favorite one was? My favorite one was the Elijah Craig campaign. And the reason why it was, number one, that was a 5-figure campaign. Number two, I was able to include my mom and dad in my work as an influencer. So my mom and dad got flew out. I flew my mom and dad from Miami to Atlanta to shoot with me because I did a partnership with Elijah Craig, which is one of my favorite bourbon brands. And it was around Mother's Day and Father's Day. So I got to fly my mom and dad down and do the photo shoot and really help them like understand what I do and what it looks like, and it's not just taking pictures. And when I told my dad how much money I made for that, he was like, say what now? Shit, I need to be if you know my dad, he like, shit, I need to be an influencer too. They paying that kind of money. So yeah, that was a great one because it was a very well-paying campaign, but it also afforded me the opportunity to incorporate my mom and my dad in my job and my husband, but he's a part of it. This is the brand. But it was the first time my mom and dad were apart, so that was pretty dope. Do you really make 6 figures as an influencer? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, many influencers do, and yes, you can. If you want to be an influencer, you absolutely can. I've made 6 figures already. I made 6 figures actually by May of this year as an influencer. So you absolutely can. It is not fluff. If you can make $15,000 for one campaign, $10,000, even $5,000 for one campaign, and you do that 2 times a month, you're already at 6 figures. It is absolutely, absolutely possible. When will you take the Influencer Lounge on the road? So soon. So the Influencer Lounge is my monthly masterclass membership. So I started the Influencer Lounge with my blogger bestie, Tina, at Her Life Sparkles. And essentially we've created a community of influencers, a community of women that want to build their brands, grow their communities, and monetize their influences. So every month we do a masterclass. We do monthly challenges. We do a live Pick Our Brain Q&A session every month. We offer discounts off of our digital products. So my coaching ebooks, my coaching calls, they get a discounted rate for that. And it's just amazing. Like when I tell you, every time someone hits me up saying that they made X amount of money, or they used my pitch letter and they got, you know, the brand to respond, or they went from this amount to this amount because of something that I told them, like, it warms my heart. Like, making money is one thing. Helping women make money is even greater. And I hand on the Bible, like it's one of the most rewarding parts of my influencing career. Being able to do so well for myself in this industry, and also making the space for other women to do exactly the same. That's my favorite part. So when will the Influencer Lounge go on the road? We are planning an in-person event. The details for that will be released pretty soon. So definitely keep an eye out. Okay, I feel like this is getting really long. So I'm gonna take like 2 more questions. This one says, do you know how to play spades? Have you met me? Yes, I know how to play spades, and I'll run your ass off the table. Yes, I play spades, and it's a very serious matter. So don't come on the spades table if you don't know how to play. Go to the kiddie table. Don't come to the grown folks table if you do not know how to play spades, period. How did you learn how to cook so well? I come from a family of cooks. My mom cooks, my grandmother cooks, my sister cooks, and I don't know, I guess because I just love food. I was just always in the kitchen, sort of helping my mom, you know, make meals and things like that. And then in my hospitality program at Florida State, we spent a full year dedicated to food and beverage. And so there I learned tons of different cooking techniques. I learned about different types of fish and different types of meat and the process of how things are cured. And I just learned so much from that year that I sort of honed my experience, and I took those experiences coupled with the experiences that I had growing up as a little girl, and yeah, everything just kind of followed me along the way. And I think just because I just genuinely love food, I love to experiment with different recipes, and I just love to eat. A little bit of my upbringing and a little bit of professional training in college. Somebody said, can we see the ring? Yes, you can. So that's my ring. He did good. And I know you love, this will be my last one. I know you love whiskey, but what is your favorite? So yes, I am a whiskey girl. I prefer bourbon, and my favorite bourbon, this is really hard. If I am just at home and I just want to have a quick drink, it's been a long day at work, I'm gonna go for Maker's Mark. If I go out to a bar and I order bourbon, I'm probably gonna order Bullet or Woodford Reserve. If I am being fancy, I'll order Blanton's. And I really also like Basil Hayden's. Ciao. Just give me some bourbon. I like it all. Y'all, that is all for today. I feel like I have been talking to this camera for an hour. I hope this video is not that long. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to be giving you more videos. We'll do some cooking. We'll do some home decor. We'll maybe do some fashion videos. Of course, I'm going to incorporate Richard and Sanai, so you'll see my little family. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments below. And if you have a video that you would like me to record, drop that below as well. Again, y'all, this is my first time, so I hope it was good. And I am excited to be producing more videos. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all next time.